Around 100 kilometers southwest of Baghdad lies the Karbala International Stadium, hosting matchday 3 of the AFC Champions League Elite as Shorta and Pakhtakor meet, the reigning champions domestically of Iraq and Uzbekistan. It's the first time they've ever faced each other, and it's a very important match. This is how things are looking in the league stage and the West region. And regrettably, for both of these sides, you have to look quite far down the table to find them. They are out of reach at the moment of qualification. But there is time for things to change in this 8-match series. And the top 8 teams of the 12 in the West region will join the top 8 in the East region in the bright lights of the knockout stage. The city of Karbala is one of the most famous holy cities in Shia Islam, visited by over 30 million pilgrims annually. Visiting it today, the champions of Uzbekistan. The 20th time that they have participated in the various incarnations of the AFC Champions League, but this is a brand new format for all, the elite stage. And this is an elite stadium hosting this contest. It was opened in May of 2016. The first match that took place here was a friendly between Karbala FC, the local side, and Iraq's 2007 AFC Asian Cup winning team. Some of the most celebrated athletes in the country's history. Will there be celebrations tonight? Shorta drew 1-1 with Al Nassr on match day 1. Then they lost 5-0 to Al Hilal. Pakhtakor lost 1-0 at home to Al Wasl on match day 1. And then in their second match, a 1-1 draw away at Persepolis. Both of these teams then with 1 out of 6 points. The home team, nicknamed Al-Kitara, the harp. TV presenter Majid Abdul Haq coined the nickname some 20, 30 years ago by saying that the play of this club was as flowing and attractive as listening to a harp. Well, there's a lot of music coming from behind the goal now as the home fans are getting ready to cheer and to sing. They'll take on the cotton growers of Pakhtakor. Semi-finalists on 2 occasions 20 years ago. Pakhtakor had an 11-year spell in this competition, a record from 2002 to 2013. There is going to be a terrific atmosphere, and we anticipate a thoroughly entertaining match, because this really is so important to both teams when it comes to their prospects of getting through to the knockout stage. Spotting oneself on the big screen, always a highlight. But now it's time for the real focus. It's time for kickoff. The brand new AFC Champions League Elite. Asian football like you've never experienced it, like they've never experienced it. Yes, Pakhtakor are veterans, but this is a new tournament and they're struggling. And so are their opponents, the home team, Al Shorta Sports Club. A victory is necessary. And in the setting of the Kabala International Stadium, the fans of Al Kitara, the harp, are ready to make beautiful music. And they will take on an industrious team who live up to their nickname of the Cotton Growers. Can they flourish? Can they create something striking in this striking setting? It is a thoroughly impressive spectacle, this stadium. Opened in May of 2016. Capacity of around 30,000. And this city is about 100 kilometers southwest of Baghdad. Al Shorta Sports Club are one of the 4 big clubs in Baghdad, along with the Air Force Club, Al Zahra and Al Talaba. So we have a meeting between 2 clubs from their respective capital cities. Pakhtakor, whose main rivals are Bunyodkor, contest the Tashkent derby. A referee who is no stranger to very big matches. They are fully aware, these Pakhtakor players, that it's going to be an extremely loud and energetic crowd that will be frankly wishing them ill and hoping that they fall behind quickly. Vice-captain Ahmed Basil plays in goal. Born in Baghdad, he spent most of his career at the club. Defender number 15, Ahmed Yahya, was in the Iraq squad that played in the Asian Cup in Qatar at the start of the year. He's one of a number of very experienced players in Ahmed Salah's team. In midfield, Sajjad Jassim wears number 6 and makes his first start in the Champions League Elite. And watch for the captain, Mohamed Ali, number 18. He scored 16 times as Al Shorta won the league last season. The gentleman in charge is Ma Ning, 45-year-old from Liaoning province, the northeast coast of the People's Republic of China. The second Chinese referee to officiate at the World Cup and the referee of the Asian Cup final earlier this year. He will be supported by his fellow Chinese referees in the video review studio. Fu Ming leads that group. One lone goalkeeper, Vladimir Nazarov, starts again in the Champions League. He's one of a number of Asian Games medalists in the Pakhtakor team. Keep an eye on young defender Shahzad Azmidinov, who wears number 3. He's really developed in the last couple of years. Number 17 is creative winger Dostonbek Hamadov, who, when in form, is a hard player to combat. He's been scoring well in the league this season. And on the subject of scoring well, number 10 is the captain Dragan Cheran, who has been the club's leading man in the charts for 5 seasons in a row. Just had a glimpse there of Abdul Majid Boubacar Moumouni from Niger. And a glimpse of the beautiful setting of this stadium and the lights of the city of Kabala. Huge match this for both of these teams. The very warmest of welcomes to you indeed. The setting is the Kampala International Stadium, and this is match day 3 of the AFC Champions League Elite. It's the West Region League stage. Al Shorta, the champions of Iraq, in possession, taking on the champions of Uzbekistan, Pakhtakor. Al Shorta appearing in this competition for the 6th time, although technically they're all debutants because it's the brand new AFC Champions League Elite. Pakhtakor in the yellow kit appearing for the 20th time in this competition. Ahmed Salah, 42, from Duhok in the Kurdistan region, is the head coach of Al Shorta. Never played for them, but had a very long career as an attacker. 5 goals for the national team in 29 appearances, and he took over this year for his 2nd spell in charge of the club. And I'm sure a lot of the Uzbekistan fans will not need reminding that he actually scored against them in World Cup qualification in February of 2004 at Pakhtakor Stadium. Well controlled there by Fahad Youssef. Number 7 is Mahmoud Al-Mawas. And there is Abdul Majid Boubacar Moumouni from Niamey, the capital of Niger. Yes, every single time Pakhtakor get possession, they'll be jeered, they'll be booed. And it's exactly the sort of treatment that their fans inflict on everyone that visits their stadium. So all's fair. They'll know that's what it's going to be like, and they'll enjoy it. And I'm sure you will too, watching it. It's a great pleasure to have your company at this wonderful competition that is the AFC Champions League Elite. Very good young defender in possession, Shahzad Azmidinov, 24-year-old. It's his 5th year in the first team. He gets more and more high profile by the season, almost by the game. It's his 11th appearance in the Champions League. Pakhtakor lost 1-0 at home to Al Wasl of the United Arab Emirates on matchday 1. Drew 1-1 away at Persepolis in their 2nd fixture. And for the home team, a 1-1 draw with Al Nassr, an impressive 1-1 draw on matchday 1. And then a rather difficult to tolerate 5-0 loss to Al Hilal on matchday 2. So all of that means that after 6 possible points, both of these teams have only 1. Muradin Tajibayev, 41-year-old, in charge of the team, played for Pakhtakor. For those of you still acquainting yourselves with the new format of the Champions League, in the elite edition of the competition, the top 8 teams from each region, East and West, and this is the West region, will go through to the knockout stage. So 4 out of the 12 in each region depart after the first 8 matches. Akbar Alijonov wearing number 7 for Pakhtakor, one of a large number of Tashkent-born players. There's quite a lot of Baghdad-born players as well in the Al Shorta team. Abdullayev, wearing number 4, is not one of those Tashkent-born players. He was born in Kurgan Tepe, right by the border with Kyrgyzstan in the far east of the country. Only just joined the club at the start of the season. Has been a very useful addition. There is the brilliant goal scorer, Dragan Cheran, wearing number 10, the captain of Pakhtakor. Those of you who have watched the Champions League in Asia a lot will know him very, very well. 38th appearance in the competition. He's scored 11 goals. And he's been the club's top goal scorer domestically for the last 5 years. When he plays, they are a totally different team from when he is absent. Medyaya. It seemed to be just slightly clipped on the ankle. And that's got to be a foul. Number 27, Sador Sabir Hojayev, was clipped. He'll not be wanting to pick up a little injury because he's one away from a very important moment in his career. Number 27, Sador Sabir Hojayev, his next appearance in the Uzbek Super League is going to be his 250th. And one hopes that there'll be a suitable celebration. Great accomplishment. That's well won back by Bubakar. Nice idea from Mahmoud Al-Mawas, but the young defender Azmidinov read it so easily. He'll be quite busy, Shahzad Azmidinov, with Mahmoud Al-Mawas. He was the domestic player of the season last year in Iraq. And he feels he was fouled. And Azmidinov doesn't care what he feels. Cheran. Good ball, that. Clever. And just cut out to a degree by Salomon Banga, the 28-year-old from Cameroon. He's had a very interesting career. Salomon Banga will come back to that in due course. Let this corner kick play out first, but he's played for a most eclectic and exciting range of clubs. Forward from defence, players like Mohammad Qadir Hamraliev. Cheran will be dangerous here. He can be ever so good from set pieces. As can Azmidinov. It's just over the top of Azmidinov, went to Cheran. Calls for a handball from the Pakhtakor players. Played back by Fahad Youssef to Salomon Banga, who was last at APR FC Kigali in Rwanda, won the league with them. The club founded in 1993. 22-time Rwandan Premier League champions. So he's now, Solomon Banga, won the top flight in Cameroon, Sudan and Rwanda. Played for the great Al Hilal Omdurman club in Sudan. Hugely well-supported team. Cheran. That's good coverage. Getting back to prevent him playing that out to the left wing. Youssef just briefly had Ahmed Yahya overlapping on the left. Haven't really been able to create a great deal of shape when they've got the ball, Al Shorta. #29 is Mohamed Dawood Yassin, excellent young player. Scored their only goal so far in that draw with Al Nassr. So we have a look back at Dostonbek Khamdamov's corner kick. Well, I think it would be rather brutal to consider that a handball. Striking Faisal Jassim. Here is Yahya. It's going to be a foul on the centre-back, Solomon Banga. Quarterback Jurakuziev penalised. Here's Dragan Cheran, who out of nowhere has got a lot of space, and that's at least partially dealt with by Banga. Worrisome there for a moment for Al Shorta. They look a little pressurised, don't they, in defence? No foul, to the displeasure of the fans of Al Kitara, the Harp. It's Mohamed Dawood Yassin who's down. And this is why. Oh, he does get a forearm stroke elbow in the face. Without much intent, it will probably be determined by Hamralier, but probably didn't feel too pleasant. He's getting close, Mohamed Dawood Yassin, to 100 goals in the top flight of Iraqi football. I think a lot of people would contest that he hasn't quite managed to live up to what he did as a really young star in the league in that 2017 to 2019 period. Still very young, though. We must remember that he's only 23 and has a huge amount of his career left, and still time to rediscover that tremendous early promise, and we saw glimpses of it in the match with Al Nassr. Clever touch on from Abubakar Moumouni. Problem there just for a moment for the Pakhtakor defenders, and not cleared with any great conviction. Just seemed to catch out Abdullah Abdullayev. Banga. Fahad Youssef wearing number 30. Born in Kamishli in the northeast of Syria, on the border with Turkey. Azmedinov to Alijonov. Is Abdurauf Buriev, another of the Tashkent-born players and one of several in the starting lineup who won bronze at the Asian Games in Hangzhou last year, the delayed games, originally supposed to take place in 2022. That's nicely done. One back well by Sajjad Jassim. Here is Al-Mawas. 18 is Mohamed Ali. And then arriving in support, Dawood Yassin. A little more purpose to the attack. And a goal kick the outcome. And all of that started with the central midfielder, Sajjad Jassim, winning the ball back well. And once again, having a look back at that header from Cheran that struck the arm of Faisal Jassim. That's nicely done by Sajjad Jassim. Can he use the ball? It was the right sort of idea, looking for Mohamed Ali. The captain had a little space. Got a little more assertive in their use of the ball now, Shorta, in the last few minutes. Cheran having to play in quite a deep position, but he's very used to doing that. Happy to arrive late. Sabir Hojayev. Chance here for the pullback. They might put it in, blocked by Banga, and then thumped wide. Really important block in the first instance by Salomon Banga. And then it was Umar Aramzoda. Difficult one to strike. Excellent work from Jurakuziev. Good block from Banga. And then probably not the first choice player to be arriving to strike that ball. Somebody who has scored once this season in the league, in 20 appearances, and once in the cup. New signing at the start of the year. Played for Neftchi Fargona before that, and it's always an interesting thing when a player moves between those two clubs, because they contest what is affectionately known as the Uzbek El Clasico. One back well by Alijonov. And then he dwells and looks thoroughly irritated with himself upon losing that ball. Banga. And he goes down. Dawood Yassin. The judgment of Manning is that it was a foul. Salomon Banga, what a ball that was to Al-Mawas, came out of nowhere. Ahmed Yaya. Jassim, who's played quite well so far, and that was, oh well, it was a bit of fun from Abdul Majid Boubacar Moumouni. He has scored in the Arab Club Championship. I think we'll put that one into the optimistic category. Gathered by Vladimir Nazarov. Goalkeeper of Pakhtakor on loan from Surhan Termez. He joined them this year and immediately went out on loan. But he does have a connection with Pakhtakor. He actually came through the youth team and then moved to other clubs. But he's very much established himself as the first choice this season. Oh goodness, that's a risk from Ahmed Basil. And that is a fortunate escape. And relax, say all the Shorta fans. Imagine he had a very anxious little moment there, Ahmed Basil, the vice-captain. Banga. He's capable of playing some very nice balls out of the defence. The 28-year-old joined the club in 2014. He sort of unintentionally produced a very nice moment of trickery. Did the job though. Let's be kind to him. No harm done. Important touch from Yaya, but Lejonov provides a simple gather of the ball really for Ahmed Basil. He looks for the one player forward and he finds him. It's Mohamed Ali given an absolutely superb clearance right to his feet by Basil. He seemed to be caught as he was striking that ball. It's only right and proper to mention that Mohamed Ali came through the Amr Baba school. One of the greatest names in the sport in Iraq. Amr Baba, the late Amr Baba. Played for the national team for about 14 years in the 50s and 60s. And actually, Amr Baba managed Shorta on 3 occasions. So many of the great young Iraqi players have come through the school that is a fine way to honour his legacy. Corner kick to Al Shorta, just around the halfway stage of the first half. Munaf Yunus and Salomon Banga up from the defence. Dragan Sheran back. He's good in these positions defensively as well as he is in an attacking sense. Just about kept it in. Umar Adam Shorta. Cheran risky there as he played that back. Now Dawood Yassin the chance to get something on the ball, but it's well won by Buriev. Cheran more accurate that time. Mona Funes gets enough weight on that to go back to Basil. The city of Karbala has a very ancient name that I won't go into the possible meanings of, because there are so many conflicting views in scholarship of the region that it provokes great discourse and disagreement, but it's a fascinating read if you're interested. Referee Manning finding that slightly less than fascinating. It's a little wild, isn't it, from Umar Adamzoda. Just swings the high ball. Although the name of the city is debated, or the origins of the name, what's not debated is how important it is as a holy site and being a very important place in religious scholarship for Shia Muslims. Space, an opportunity, and the ball just wouldn't drop for Mahmoud Al-Mawas. He does get a corner kick nonetheless. There is evidence of why Dragan Cheran always comes back to defend corner kicks. Another thing that really should be mentioned about Ahmed Salah, we just got a glimpse of there, the head coach of Al Shorta, is that he was part of the Athens 2004 Olympic squad that so memorably and agonisingly finished fourth. And there are members of the Pakhtakor team who took part more recently in the Olympiad in Paris and who've been part of that great under-23 group coming through that have made a couple of AFC under-23 Asian Cup finals, that won the bronze at the Asian Games in Hangzhou, as I mentioned earlier. A lot of reason to feel quite optimistic if you're supporting not just Pakhtakor but football in Uzbekistan in general. Some very good youngsters that have started to emerge. He's one of them. Just looking at Mohammad Qadir Hamraliev, 23-year-old. Well controlled by Fahad Youssef. Good ball that on to Dawood Yassin. He needs some support and it's coming back from Fahad Youssef. Dawood Yassin, excellently done. Back to Al-Mawas. Gathered by Nazarov. He's had the best 3 years of his career, Mahmoud Al-Mawas. 20 goals last season, 10 the year before, 22 the year before that, the top scorer in the league. He knows everything there is to know about being the top scorer domestically, Dragan Cheran. 13 in 20 this season in the Super League. Calmly done by Nazarov. Cheran, little touch. Probably will feel Ahmed Salah that Dragan Cheran shouldn't have been allowed to get that touch. Advantage played. Lejonov. Now there will be an assessment of that injury. He gets clipped, doesn't he, Abdurrauf Buriev? This will provide a better glimpse of it. It's the edge of his foot caught by Fahad Youssef. Again, not enormously malicious, but painful, one imagines. Such an experienced referee, Manning. I'll make the decisions, he says to Dragan Cheran. And he made the decisions in the Asian Cup final at the start of the year. And he became the second Chinese referee to go to the World Cup. Good control from Cheran. This is what he often does, is pick the ball up in the midfield, start the attack, and then arrive late, but well timed to finish it. Mediaya. It's very ambitious. Cheran misplaced it, just went straight to Munaf Yunus. Perhaps one might say that they are both playing this game with the trepidation of teams that have only 1 out of 6 points and who are aware of how important a chance this is to actually move up the table towards that cut-off point of 8th place. Pakhtakor a 9th and Shorta 11th is at the start of this match day. Salomon Banga, you just see he's looking for that chance to try to be aggressive with a pass forward, and there wasn't one there. Controlled well by Abdullah Abdullayev. Into Sabir Khojayev. He has been fouled. Mawas wanted it back more quickly from Mohamed Daoud. Banga, again, one of those searching balls, but wasn't quite on the same wavelength as his colleagues up the pitch. Sabir Hojaev. Lejonov. On the subject of not quite being on the same wavelength. Very often he's had a quiet game and then scored with his first meaningful chance. He has a remarkable 140 goals in 212 games for Pakhtakor. Ergun Sheran. Fahad Youssef. Overlapping is Ahmed Yahya, but it was nicely prevented by Hodiakbar Alijonov. He's been a first-team regular for about 5 years now for Pakhtakor. Youssef, now here's the chance for Yahya to cross. That's really well won back by Buriev. Good anticipation, and he's kept the run forwards going. Wants it played to him, and it has been played to him. This is excellent from Abdurauf Buriev. And it deteriorates. Great start, though, that from Buriev. Kuziev. Now forward from the defence, Hamraliev. Scored quite recently in a 6-0 win at home to his old club Olympic on the 25th of September. Mohamed Ali, like much of the attacking moments of this match, they've ended all too quickly. Dostonbek Hamdamov. And extended sportingly by Ahmed Yahya. Well, it was Lejonov who hit it. Hasn't scored this season. Did get his first goal for the national team last year in the Central Asian Nations Cup in the 3-0 win against Oman. Sabir Hojaev. He was hopeful for a moment there, Boubacar Moumouni, that the counter-attack was on, but instead a yellow card is being shown. It goes to Fahad Youssef. 37-year-old. He's the oldest player in the team. Five or so minutes remaining. There'll be a little additional time. Will there be any really clear goal-scoring opportunities before the first half comes to its conclusion. Good control from Pakhtakor Mumuni, who's been useful in midfield so far for Al Shorta. It does help relieve pressure. He's been in Iraq for quite a while, joined the club in 2021. Before that, he spent 2 years at Al Mina in Basra. Have to go. Oh, I was about to say I'll have to go back to his goalkeeper, Munaf Yunus, but he did slightly later than I think people were expecting. Ali controls it well. There's the opportunity for the pass to Dawood Yassin. Can he finish it? And then cleared comfortably off the line. Just didn't get any sort of power, but easily the best opportunity for Al Shorta. Started with Mohamed Ali's run forwards. Yaya. And well cleared. He's given them a little incentive, a little purpose though. Faisal Jassim onto Sajjad Jassim. Nearly linking up nicely. Kramdamov. Cheran was offside, had to come back before that was played. He just lost the position as a result. Oh, he won that back out of nowhere. Danger seemed to be completely over before Dostonbek Kramdamov got ahead of the defenders. Here he is again, Mohamed Ali. Feels he was fouled by Abdurauf Bouriev. It was a tricky one for the defence. Just had Faisal Jassim not knowing whether to stay or to go. All immaterial anyway, as yellow card is shown to Umar Adamzoda. Yes, it's not really going to provoke too much debate, is it? And this is the opportunity. Just a little intervention from Shahzad Azmedinov seemed to cost Dawood Yassin his equilibrium, and he needed to, because he was playing him onside. Probably any more contact than that and it would have been a foul. But judged, to be fair, by Ma Ning and his colleague Hu Ming in the studio, scrutinising all of the evidence on video. Bouriev. Sabir Hojayev. Cleverly done. Here's Sajjad Jassim. They're suddenly getting more space. They're getting forward more. Al Shorta. But the ball didn't match the start of the build-up. All too easy for Hamad Aliyev. Pakhtakor Mumuni to Mohamed Ali. Very nice play again from Al Shorta. And they probably don't want half-time to come right now, which it will with just one additional minute. Because this is the best they've looked at any stage of the match. Simple pass, clever one from Abdul Majid Boubacar Moumouni. And Mohamed Ali, who's yet to score in the Champions League, this is his 5th appearance, wasn't hugely far away. Faisal Jassim does excellently. Here's Salomon Banga. They may just get time to send this forwards, but it's not hugely likely. Started to get very entertaining, particularly from Al Shorta's perspective in the last few minutes. Good chances for Mohamed Ali, and before that, Mohamed Dawood Yassin. All of that will encourage Ahmed Salah's players at the break. Pakhtakor probably quite relieved that the half has ended when it has done. No score at the Kabbalah International Stadium. At half-time, it's Al Shorta 0, Pakhtakor 0.
ما يطلعون له عادي. The future of Asian club football shines brightly with the all-new AFC Women's Champions League. For the first time ever, Asia's top 12 women's club will converge to showcase their talent and repeat for ultimate glory. This is more than just a competition. It is a powerful symbol of innovation and inclusivity, inspiring generations of female athletes to chase their dreams and write their own stories on the pitch. This is the AFC Women's Champions League.
Breaking new ground for women's club football in Asia. 12 of the best teams, chasing greatness, inspiring generations in a fierce contested competition to crown the best in Asia. AFC Women's Champions League.
This is Asia.
هاي كاميرا أحمد حربي.
at the Kabbalah International Stadium at half-time. No score. Not too many moments of concern for either of the goalkeepers in this setting about 100 kilometres southwest of the capital city of Iran, Baghdad. Just west of the Euphrates River, close to the beginning of the desert. And we anticipate a more engaging second half from a goal-scoring point of view, because there have been few chances thus far, but promise from Shorta, who was starting to dominate just before the break. What response will we now get from Pakhtakor? The beginning of the second half. Shorta and Pakhtakor with the visiting team from Uzbekistan in possession, and changes made to their lineup at half-time, including Mahmajanov wearing number 44. And a foul straight away. In possession. Now it's with Abdurauf Buriev as Midinov in a different sort of position now comes forward. Out on the left is substitute Mahmajanov. And they've also brought on Mohammad Rasul Abdulmajidov. So a couple of changes made by Pakhtakor at half-time. First ever meeting between these teams. They still have scored, both of them, just one goal in the first ever league stage of the AFC Champions League Elite. Brand new format of the competition, providing 8 of the 12 clubs the chance to go through to the knockout stage and meet their counterparts from the East region. There were a couple of decent opportunities, and this could be another one of them. Al-Mawas, they're going to put this in, surely. No, saved by Nazarov. Mohamed Ali playing it straight at the feet of the goalkeeper, mystifying firstly how they were given the ball, Shorta, and secondly how they did not manage to finish it. At the other end cleared comfortably by Salomon Banga. Oh dear, not a pleasant challenge from Sardor Sabir Hojayev. Well, he's a million miles away from legitimately contesting that ball. Had the intention to do nothing but bring Sajjad Jassim down, hence why, quite correctly, he's been cautioned by Manning. Well, that really was needlessly risky. Shorta Kuziev has it. Can they be more sensible in their use of the ball this time? Here is Sajjad Jassim. Oh, could have gone wrong. Headed back by Mahmajanov, who's on loan from Pakhtakor's great rivals, Bunyodkor. It's only 21. Very much regarded as one of this bright generation coming through. one of the Asian Games medalists and part of the team that made the final of the Under-23 Asian Cup at the start of the year. Just to confirm, the players who have been replaced are Mohammad Kodir Hamaraliev and Dostonbek Ramdamov. Almawas gifted the ball again. It's a foul by Buriev. Making a few errors in possession, Pakhtakor. And this is earlier on. Buriev giving it away. And my goodness, Mohammad Ali did have to adjust his stride to take the shot on, but, well, that reaction is all one needs to say, really. Almawas couldn't believe that the captain didn't put that in. Here is Mahmoud Almawas with the free kick. Quite a good free kick, that. It was Munaf Yunus who scored the winning goal in the Arabian Gulf Cup last year. Now, can he do better this time? No. Mohammad Ali again in a good position, again not able to beat Vladimir Nazarov. Oh dear. And again provided by Mahmoud Almawas. It's power with little concern for accuracy. And he was so strong last season, Mohammad Ali, as Shorta won the league title. I mentioned earlier, 16 goals in 30 games. You would expect him to have finished at least one of those two very good opportunities. And there is substitute Mohammad Rasul Abdulmajidov, 20-year-old, who came on along with 21-year-old Mahmoudjon Makhamajonov. A good opportunity for those two young men in defence. That's loose and will go to Dawood Yassin. They really are starting to control the game, Al Shorta. Can they get a goal? He's dealt with things very calmly, very comfortably so far. 22-year-old Vladimir Nazarov. This time Almawas taking it on himself rather than looking for the pass. Just to remind you that the benefit of the change to the structure of Asian continental football this season means that you don't just get to enjoy the Champions League Elite, you've got the Champions League 2 as well to follow. And that's in progress as well. Matches coming up this week. And the first ever edition of the Women's Champions League as well. Been thoroughly entertaining so far, some excellent matches. Competition that looks set over the next few years to become bigger and bigger and more exciting as more clubs participate, as a real showcase is given to women's football in Asia, as it should be. Well done, Fahad Yousaf. He's done... Oh, should have just stopped talking there. Bakar. to like about him in the midfield. Hard-working and effective player. Jassim. He's actually from this city, by the way, Kampala. Started his career at his hometown club here. Joined Shorta 2 years ago. How special it would be if he could be instrumental in them picking up a win here. Salomon Banga to the aforementioned Sajjad Jassim. We're really in a period where Al Shorta have got full control of the ball. It's just that old adage of doing something material with it, and that is far from the ideal. Adam Shorta couldn't get past Fahad Youssef. The 37-year-old, I sort of feel him saying there to Adam Shorta, I'm far too experienced to fall for that. There's Midinov, good idea. Substitute Makhmajanov. Long and hopeful for Ali, who's committed a foul. This should be Salomon Banga's, it is. Basil, who decides not to dwell on the ball, probably mindful of what happened in the first half. He was very nearly caught. They've just got to be sensible and vigilant, Al Shorta, because all the while Dragan Cheran is around, there's a chance. Just one wrong move, one moment of loose defending. One player who fails to pick him up, and he will score. And you imagine what might have happened if it had been Dragan Cheran who'd received the sort of space and position that Mohamed Ali did, because he hasn't yet had those sorts of chances for the visiting team. Pakhtakor of Tashkent, beautiful ancient Silk Road city. A couple of options here, will the right one be chosen? Didn't fall easily for Fahad Youssef, that ball, but the attack does continue for the time being. And Vladimir Nazarov could have been embarrassed there, but he kept it in play. He was determined to prevent the corner kick, as Ahmed Yahya was in danger of sneaking around. Might have been offside earlier on. Rare space here for Pakhtakor to bring the ball forwards. Crossed in from deep towards Cheran. Makhmajanov. Yet to score for his new club. He's played 4 times in the league. Did score a couple of times, or has scored a couple of times, I should say, for Bunyodkor, because he is still with them, so I shouldn't talk about him in the past tense, as though he's left the club permanently, just on loan. Alijonov. It's the right idea. Now, Dragan Cheran wants this, and that was a very important intervention from Salomon Banga. And an athletic one, too. Had a long spell earlier on in his career at Cotonsport in his native Cameroon. He's also played in Morocco along with the other countries I mentioned, Sudan and Rwanda. Again, this is where Cheran can be very dangerous. Certainly he and Shakhdod Azmidinov are cooking up a plan, as they tend to. For the first time, standing very close to each other. It's all dependent on the quality of the ball. They've been on the defensive for the whole of the second half, but now they attack. The team from Uzbekistan. Alijonov, and charged down well. Can they keep attacking possession here? It's a good idea from Sabir Kojaev. It just didn't have anything like the sort of execution it needed. Tebek Zunakuziev, another of the youngsters, only 22. New to the Champions League. Pakhtakor as a club, certainly not new to it. 20th time, as I mentioned earlier, in this competition, and its various changes of format. They missed the 2014 and 2017 editions. Ended that fabulous run of 11 years consecutively qualifying. They were the only club from Uzbekistan ever to play in the old Soviet top league. The only Central Asian club to make the USSR Cup final. They've long been an extremely strong side. And the history of the Shorta Sports Club is a very long one. They were founded in 1932, 92 years ago. Should be dealt with, and it has been. Needed to be as well, because the captain, Mohamed Ali, was ready to sneak in behind. Now, Cheran, can he control it? Banga, oh, he has been fouled, yes. It was a nervous moment, though. There's no doubt about it. This is earlier on the opportunity from Makhamajonov. Yes, as I was saying earlier, founded in 1932, Al Shorta Sports Club. Originally formed by the director of the Baghdad police schools. They won their first trophy in 1938. Dawood Yassin. Clever ball. And then rather miscued. Amir Sabah, substitute. is again, 26-year-old who first came to prominence by scoring a remarkable 12 goals for Al Najaf in the 2016-2017 season. It's still the best season he's ever had. He's twice been a winner of sides that have won the league in Iraq. Well, that's going to be a foul. Ahmed Yahya obviously brought down. And this is where Umar Adamzoda is living rather dangerously, because he has already been given a yellow card. He was cautioned right before half-time. He may well only get, may well not get one more opportunity. That might have been his last one. Mahmoud Al-Mawas, the 31-year-old from Hama on the banks of the Orontes River in the west of Syria, who was the Stars League Player of the Season last year, looks to deliver a hugely important free kick for Al Shorta, and it tests Vladimir Nazarov more really than anything has so far, and still it was comfortable. Made the right move to get it away. The substitute Sabah takes the corner kick. Goalkeeper really had a lot of players to get through. Another chance. A return to Al Shorta pressure. Can they find a way through? Not with deliveries of that nature. Yusuf from deep. It will be an Al Shorta ball. Came off the head of Abdullah Abdullayev. Inside the last 30 minutes of match day 3 for these two teams in the West Region League stage of the inaugural AFC Champions League Elite. Five more match days to come. It's getting to the stage now where one imagines Al Shorta will regard this as a missed opportunity if they don't go on to win the game, because they've really dominated in all but the most significant of fashions. The ball in from Al-Mawas. Dealt with it nicely, didn't he, the goalkeeper? Very routine, but could have been pressurised. Easy to misjudge those. He's become the current first choice, Vladimir Nazarov, from Pavel Pavlyuchenko. Ali, the goalkeeper, made a clear call, and it worked out well for him and for Abdullah Abdullayev. He's a confident young man, the Tashkent-born Vladimir Nazarov. Pavlyuchenko, the other goalkeeper, is 4 years older, from Belarus. And he's played more times in the league this year than Nazarov, just one more at 11, but that was mostly earlier in the season. And all of the Champions League games have been Nazarov as the starting goalkeeper. Player down here for Pakhtakor, and a chance for Al Shorta to overload. The space was with Fahad Yusuf. He was the obvious player to target. wonder if there might be an attacking change for Ahmed Salah to make. He has got players like Ahmed Farhan that he could bring on. Lucas Santos, the Brazilian. Wouldn't be a great surprise if he came on. Does tread on the back of the foot by the looks of things of Otabek Chunakuziev. That is well-marshalled support. That was Majid Abdul Haq, a popular television presenter who coined the nickname Al-Kitara, the harp, when Al Shorta Sports Club were playing particularly beautifully in the early 1990s. He said that their play was as flowing and attractive as listening to the harp, and the team just ran with it and started wearing a harp on their shirts ahead of the 1992 season. It's a bit of a painful one for Omar Alamjoda, but the repairs have been done. Forward from Abdullayev to no one in particular. Really has been a quiet game for Ahmed Basil. Lijonov to Buriev. And from Gerard Kuziev. Again from deep, looking for Cheran over the top of him. And coverage provided defensively by Mohamed Dawood Yassin. Starting to play balls in relatively deep to try to involve Dragan Cheran. So far it's been very successful from Al Shorta's perspective, the way they've stopped the Serbian, the captain of Pakhtakor, from having the sort of impact that he can have. When you think he's not far off 1 in every 3 in the Champions League, 11 goals in 37. Here is Cheran, goes out wide. Cheran continues his run. Pakhtakor lose the ball. Risky to try and run it out of defence like that, though. Sajjad Jassim making a run on the right wing was substitute Amir Sabah. Not too powerful, but did well to get some kind of control on the ball, Ahmed Yahya. He has to be so cautious now, doesn't he, Umar Adamjoda, because he's one late challenge away from being dismissed. And really what Al Shorta need to do is to run at him to try to force that mistake. Sajjad Jassim does really well. Here's Sabah looking for the cross. Bakar. Al-Mawas. Nicely played to Youssef. And he totally wastes it. Oh dear. Well, they're doing a very nice job of making life easy for this confident young goalkeeper. A lot of very cross-looking Shorta players as this match goes on, knowing that they've done an awful lot right, but lacked the precision when they've been in those dangerous positions. They've only ever won 2 matches in the group stage of the AFC Champions League. Shorta. Four times they've made the group stage in their 5 previous appearances. Once went out in the qualifying round. Now, could this be problematic? No. Oh, yes, it is. What a mistake that was. And what a waste that was. Well, where to begin? Firstly, Munaf Yunus, very relieved. Looked as though he'd solved the problem and then created one for himself. To Basil from Yaya. Well, a rather messy period of play, to put it gently. Certainly offside. And now the change sees Hussein Ali come on. It's Mohamed Dawood Yassin, who we haven't really seen the very best of, who's replaced by the number 9. Very much another attacking player. Spent a couple of years in Tunisia, joining the club last year. Sheran has it back. 15 or so minutes remaining. Boubacar Moumouni again makes the right sort of decision. Amir Sabah, who has brought a liveliness to the right flank since coming on. Wanted some more options further forward there for Had Youssef, but now involved is Hussein Ali. Hussein Ali is another of the players who's come through the Amo Baba school. He was mentored by Habib Jafar, a right winger for the national team. And he scored 3 times last season as Shorta won the league title. Boubacar Moumouni. Here is the space for Amir Sabah to cross, and he does cross quite decently. Al-Mawas was ready to take charge of that. Needed to be defended, and it was well defended. On the left, Doniyor Abdulmanapov, midfielder coming on, and an attacker in Ulukbek Khoshimov. A couple of youngsters. Abdulmanapov is 24. He's played well for his new club. Joined from Nalpahor Namangan. He scored 4 in 12 in the league, but hasn't scored since a brace against Lokomotiv in August. And Ulubek Hoshimov coming on, having rejoined his first club this summer. Referee not happy with the slowness of the Pakhtakor substitutions. I'll just bring you confirmation of those in due course after this attack. Amir Sabah's throw, easily defended by Abdulmajidov. And here is one of those substitutes, Doniyor Abdulmanapov. Just a little intemperance here and there. Dragan Cheran might feel he's got clearer, pacey support to come now, with those additions of Abdulmanapov and Hoshimov. Players that went off, Umar Adamjoda and Otabek Jurakuziev, so numbers 22 and 30 departing. And that's 4 of the 5 changes made by Komolidin Tadzhiev. Now this is in from Alijonov. Again dealt with by Vanga, who's played well. Cheran just waiting for that chance, and that was nearly it. That was very nearly it. Yeah. Now it's Shorta struggling to get possession. Those substitutions have impacted things somewhat. But still, Ahmed Salah has 3 changes available to him. I'll just remind you that Lucas Santos is an option, as is Ahmed Farhan. So, do either of these teams really risk it and go for victory? A victory that would enormously alter their station, status and state of mind in the league stage of the inaugural AFC Champions League Elite. Dragan Cheran scored a hat-trick in his last league game, a 4-2 win over Dinamo Samarkand. There's Midinov. Goriev. Substitute Abdulmanapov. Sabir Hojayev, as they look for options that they can't manage to cultivate. And Alijonov trying to get away from Hussein Ali, let the ball get away from him. Yes, that sort of day, really. There won't be a really sizable amount of additional time if things continue in this fashion. That was well played to Almawas, and a good bit of goalkeeping from Vladimir Nazarov. He's looked authoritative and relatively untroubled, despite being overwhelmingly the busier of the two gentlemen in between the posts. And that's where a goalkeeper can get caught out. If you're someone like Ahmed Basil, with a late attack, a shot that you weren't expecting after such inactivity throughout the match. Well played by Hussein Ali. Well, that's hugely optimistic from Ahmed Yahya. Suddenly seems to have forgotten that he was clutching his face. Just misjudged it slightly. Abdul Majid Abubakar Mumuni. A yellow card shown earlier. Clearly grappling Dragan Cheran around the midsection. Yes, I don't think so, and I suspect most of you watching agree. That's a good ball, Cheran. Just wouldn't drop. Cheran, he might get his chance now. No. And the whistle has gone anyway. Mahmoud Almawas, out of nowhere, gets some space. Just didn't get the weight on the pass. They're cross with each other again, the Al Shorta players. Sense of a wasted opportunity. Almawas is down. Play will continue. Just needs a little technical and tactical discipline in these last few minutes from one of these teams. Or maybe sufficient indiscipline to give the other side a chance. That was nearly it. Banga. Sajjad Jassim looks around and realises he's probably the best option to bring it forwards. Sabah. Wasted ball, really. But not cleared. Oh, it's unfortunate. They just were a little too physical trying to win it back, Al Shorta. Disappointed Ahmed Yahya. He will feel that he didn't really do anything. The best opportunities certainly have been ones for the home team. Makhamajonov. Cut out by Salomon Banga, who has stood out defensively. Hopeful for Almawas, and he does excellently. Just got caught by Makhamajonov after controlling it. Sajjad Jassim. Banga. Amir Sabah again tries to play it early, and again the goalkeeper deals with whatever comes his way without too much incident. Just go back to that chance that was played straight at his feet though by Mohamed Ali. That was probably the one. Cheran shouldn't have been allowed to get that ball under control. It didn't last. Made life difficult for Munaf Yunus though. And we'll find out how much additional time there is to play, and whether that will yield one more significant attacking chance. If it mirrors the match, it will be the Iraqi champions Al Shorta who get it in these 4 remaining minutes. Yunus. Here he is again, Munaf Yunus. So much is going out to Amir Sabah on the right to try to provide a cross. But he's been forced to cross from quite deep without very evident options. Fahad Youssef. Tries this time to go inside Amir Sabah, and it's working. It's really working until that bit. Just couldn't resist that temptation to thump the ball. See that he really doesn't look at all at any possible options to pass. And you imagine that Ahmed Salah right there, who was such an accomplished striker, was thinking, that's not what I want from my midfielder, I want him to look for the pass. Meanwhile, Sador Sabir Hojayev, replaced by Ibrahim Ibragimov, 23-year-old, who's only played twice in the league this season, a couple of other times in the Cup. It's just his 6th appearance for the club in all competitions. Imagine if he can probably win the game. That is a foul on Ulugberk Hoshimov, who's barely had the chance to be involved. And optimistically taken quickly by his fellow substitute Ibragimov. Boubacar Moumouni feels that he won that completely fairly. His teammates agree. Well, it's been Al Shorta largely controlling the game. The last chance there might go to Pakhtakor. This is Odiakbar Alijonov with the free kick. It's still alive. Makhmajanov. Play halted anyway. Just keep an eye on Makhmajanov. Offside, it did take a touch on the way through to him. Three-quarters of a minute remaining. Salomon Banga just goes long and through the middle. Boubacar Moumouni. Going to have to do it now, Al Shorta. Fans a little frustrated that they're not getting the ball forwards. It doesn't look as though they're going to manage to cultivate a chance. Or will they? Is this it? Ahmed Yahya plays it on. In comes the ball, and a decent ball too. And they hopefully appeal for a penalty kick when it is highly unlikely. Will Pakhtakor have the chance to counter, or is that it? We have reached the conclusion, a scoreless game, despite Mohamed Ali's conviction that there should have been a penalty kick at the end. It doesn't appear that there's a hugely complicated case. He rather bumps off Asmidinov, hopefully. He doesn't make a great deal of contact with him. And the game really ending as it has been throughout, with Vladimir Nazarov comfortably in control of the ball and Shorta thinking about what might have been. No goals, a point for each of these teams. A long way still to go for them in the AFC Champions League Elite. It finishes Shorta 0, Pakhtakor 0.